Hacking the Singularity. How you doing? I'm Larry Greenblatt, information security nerd and pseudo hacker or whatever. I want to share with you today my series on hacking the singularity. My wildest dream to how to build a communications network that travels the entire universe and can go backwards in time as well. So. And quickly, when I say a hacker, I do not mean what you often see in the press as somebody who breaks into someone's computer without being invited to do so, that kind of thing. No. From old internet engineering task force definition to the hacking community, a hacker is not a bad guy. They're just people who like tinkering around with stuff and they figure cool things out. Actually, a definition right from RFC 2828 I love. It's someone who figures things out and make something cool happen. So that's my goal here. If you're not familiar with the technical singularity concept, Gordon Moore, engineer who helped start Intel, one of the founders of Intel, had noticed many years ago that processing speed appears to double now. And you hear numbers of every year to every 18 months to every 2 years. So I wonder if it's really Moore's law, Moore's guideline. Whatever the case is, that's still pretty awesome. In exponential growth, it's, in a linear growth, you go, if I had one, I remember learning this in school. I said, if you got like 1 penny on day 1, but then on day 2, you get 2 pennies. And by day 3, well, it would only take 30 steps. Well, if it's a linear growth, at day 3, I'd have 3 pennies. By 30, I get 30 pennies. But if this were exponential growth, day 1 I get 1 penny, day 2 I get 2, day 3 I get 4, then 8, then 16. By 30 steps away, I've reached over 1 billion. That's pretty cool, right? So the idea is by say Ray Kurzweil, if you want to really know more about the technical singularity, that's a great first person to start. His book, his 2005 book, The Singularity is Near, and as well as the Singularity University, I highly encourage people to go Google them and check out some of their YouTube videos or join up. They're based on this concept that we really are at a point in history where once a computer hits as smart as we are, now maybe we say as an individual, that could happen in the 2020s, but they think by 2045, a $1,000 computer will be able to process faster than all the humans, be smarter than all the humans in the world put together. Now that's pretty awesome, right? And a smarter computer will just build a smarter computer, So it's going to get pretty awesome. We're going to have things that can really do some problem solving. So I would like to see it solve some problems that I have, some concepts that I have from physics that I got from watching PBS specials. I'm no physicist, I'm a network security guy. Now, when I watch these PBS specials, they talk about, you've got the 3 dimensions of height and width and depth, but Einstein called time the 4th dimension. And then they tell me on these PBS specials that I can't, as a human, we can't perceive time the way we perceive. I can look at an object and see height, width, and depth, but I can't see it across time. And they show me some abstract drawing here, this cone or something, and I'm like, well, hold on, what do you mean I can't see time? Sure I do. That's why I know the difference between a photograph and a movie. So I find this kind of silly, actually. I think we do see time. Some people are better at it than others. A good musician is going to be very skilled at sequencing events, or a director or something, a movie producer. These people have to know how to sequence across time. Project managers, and they have to understand how, well, first we got to get this done, then we can get that done. There are dependencies in the way. Anybody who does process management, in fact, that's how we measure time. We measure it in state and in process, right? So when we talk about in network security, we started about with static technologies, the static packet filter. Then we went to dynamic packet filters or dynamic inspection. Well, this means we're looking at time. So we definitely do see time. Yeah, with my Google Cardboard here, I love this thing too. I just got it last year, and I didn't get the new Google Daydream yet, but my phone doesn't support it yet. But it's a great way, it's a little start in VR. Your phone not only has the ability to give you two images so we can see 3D, but because your phone has a GPS in it, it can sense your motion and you can turn around and, get like 360 views of stuff. So it's pretty cool entry. Yeah, but to me, if a picture can be done in 3D where I see height, width, and depth, then the movie is four-dimensional. I just saw uh, with my daughter the new Beauty and the Beast. Great 3D movie, by the way. I don't know, but the visuals are just beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was really pretty. So here's my wildest dream. Right? As a network security guy, network professional, I would love to see a communication network that can exploit two of the craziest concepts in physics to me. Start with entanglement. Entanglement says that if two particles ever touched each other, then they remain intimately connected in a sub or transcend the speed of light. We tend to think of the speed of light as the ultimate speed limit. Well, it does create some type of limit, but it's not what many people think it is. It's not, well, here's how entanglement works. And if it sounds weird, I understand Einstein said this is when physics got weird to him. If two particles touch each other, now Alpha Centauri, we'll use an example, is a little over 4 light years away. From here. Two particles strike each other at halfway point, and then one gets beamed to the Earth and one goes to Alpha Centauri. And if somebody polarizes the one on Earth, the one in Alpha Centauri will polarize as well at the same moment, not 4 years later. So it's not like when you polarize the one here on Earth, then send a radio communication message or something that went at light speed to Alpha Centauri and say, okay, now you polarize. No, it did it right then at that moment. So that suggests faster than light travel. That's pretty cool. Well, a great philosopher, he was a statistics guy, but he made most of his living as a science fiction author and some nonfiction work. Robert Anton Wilson took this concept and he said, well, we're told that the Big Bang, everything touched. So is it then unreasonable to suggest that everything in the universe, every particle in the universe is connected at some level? So could we build a network that could exploit this concept and communicate in real time? So Star Trek fans, remember, they'd be traveling light years away and they could communicate with Starfleet Command in the subspace radios. So it's, they communicate in real time, not in, a few years later or whatever. So we might be able to get that type of radio connection. And if I can conceive it, I would hope that some super AI in the future by 2045 could solve this problem. Maybe, maybe not. I like to say something. These are theories, and a great physicist, Brian Cox, was on Steve Colbert's show a few years back, and he said, you got to be careful of theories. There are things that you and I can see and, possibly agree on what we saw. But then things get small. Too small to see with the naked eye, and we developed microscopes. So if I can get you to look in the microscope, there's a chance we could agree on what we saw. But then things get really small. Now, the way we see things is a photon, right? That it's a carrier of light. Anything smaller than a photon, by definition, could not be seen. And he said, well, if we can't see it, we could bloody well see anything we want at that point, can't we? So, so keep in mind, these are theories. I'm not saying this will happen. These are just things that I think would be really cool. All right, so getting back to that, light is an ultimate speed limit. Well, that's not really how that works, I understand. And I got this from watching Neil deGrasse Tyson's redo of the Cosmos show. He does a fantastic job. I wish my children would get into this. And he enlightened me that, no, the law doesn't say nothing can go faster than the speed of light. It just says that nothing can accelerate to or then exceed the speed of light if you're already slower. But if you're already moving faster than the speed of light, then you can't decelerate to the speed of light. But it doesn't say you can't be faster than the speed of light. You just would be able to decelerate to it and slow down, below it. Well, that's pretty sweet. Now, light is linked very heavily with time, with our definition of how time works. So by definition, anything moving faster than the speed of light, they believe moves backwards in time. These theoretical particles, called tachyons, would be moving backwards in time. Now, if someone could build a bridge or a router or a gateway that could allow me to take tachyons and then bring it back into my computer, I could theoretically build a network that can communicate backwards in time. We could always move forward in time. I could, from thousands of years, I look at archaeological digs, and we could, get messages from the past. Wouldn't it be nice to communicate back, right? So I'd love to see a network. Go on, Cisco. I want to see Cisco or somebody exploit these concepts and build a network that can communicate with it over entangled tachyons. So now I can communicate everywhere in the universe, forward and backwards in time. That'd be so cool. If you can hack that, that's something. Figuring something out, making something really cool happen. And that's all I really wanted to share with you today. Just closing up here. One of the big fears of the singularity is that if these AIs, these artificial intelligence, get much smarter than us, and I like to say as a Star Trek fan, well, I could see them getting smarter than than humans in our objective reasoning, the Spock part of my brain. I don't know that they'll ever be able to solve the Kirk part type stuff. I'll leave that open, but they could do a lot of stuff. They're going to become so much smarter that they may see us as like insects, and people worry that we're going to have this Terminator type future. And I don't worry about it. I really don't worry about it. They go, oh, we'd be like insects to them. Well, sort of, but I don't look at an insect and go, now remember, that created me. No, they didn't create us. But the AIs will certainly be aware of the fact that we created them. And I believe will have reverence for us as the creators. And Buckminster Fuller, a great scientist, pointed something out. And to me, this isn't just a nice thing. This is, to me, the way to build sustainable technology. So I think the AI will see this as the right way, the more sustainable way to do things, is that when a scientist leaves behind an artifact, he called them, that he felt that these artifacts should advantage all and disadvantage none. It's not very sustainable, say, to make a great product that also poisons the town's water supply. So this is tough. It's a design goal that doesn't really easy to do, especially if you're building actual physical products. But that's our goal. And since I do information security, I think I can in my field hopefully do that. But I think the AIs will learn this as a design goal, as a way to become more sustainable. So I do not worry about a Terminator scenario where they're going to get so smart and decide to kill us off. All right, that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope you enjoyed this little crazy talk. Take care. Bye.